Hi everyone, welcome to Kids Church again. Remember last week we talked about Jacob who married Rachel and Leah? Well, today we're going to talk about one of his sons, Joseph. Now, if you have a notebook for your memory verses, don't forget to keep writing them in. But if you're behind, don't worry, we'll show them all at the end today so you can catch up. And later on today, Kelly will show you a great activity to help you remember them all. So let's hear about Joseph now.
Called Savior. Have you heard of His perfect love? Have you heard of the one in heaven? Have you heard how He gave His Son? 'Cause I have found this love. I believe in the Son. Show me your way. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. I believe in the one called Savior. I believe He's the risen one. I believe that I'll live forever. I believe that my King will come, 'cause I have found this love. I believe in the Son. Show me your way. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. 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 Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. You will always be, forever you and me. Oh, nothing will ever change this. You are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, you are my best friend, you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. And nothing will ever change that. Nothing will ever change that. You will nothing will ever change that. Nothing will ever change that. You're doing a new thing, making my heart sing, bringing color to this brand new day. It's never been clearer, you draw me nearer. You're always with me and you're here right now. My song, a melody, your perfect love for me. My heart is full of praise. Your love, it makes a way. And I give you my hallelujah, hallelujah for all my days. Jesus, take my hallelujah. whisper, you draw me nearer. You're always with me and you're here right now. My song, a melody, your perfect love for me. My heart is full of praise. Your love, it makes a way. And I give you my hallelujah, hallelujah for all my days. Jesus, take my hallelujah, hallelujah, I give you praise. And I give you my hallelujah, hallelujah for all my days. Jesus, take my hallelujah, hallelujah, I give you praise. My hallelujah, my hallelujah. And I give you my hallelujah, hallelujah for all my days. Jesus, take my hallelujah, hallelujah, I give you praise. And I give you my hallelujah, hallelujah for all my days. Jesus, take my hallelujah, hallelujah, I give you praise.
Jacob had 12 sons, but of all his sons, Joseph was his favorite. One day, Jacob gave Joseph a splendid new robe. It was beautiful and rich with all the colors of the rainbow, but it made Joseph's brothers jealous. They wanted rich rainbow robes too. Then, to make matters worse, Joseph kept on having these special dreams. I dreamed I was the greatest. I was king, Joseph told his brothers, and you all bowed down to me. Now, I'm sure you know, even if Joseph didn't, that telling your brothers things like that isn't a very good idea. Joseph's brothers hated him even more. They wanted to kill Joseph and his dreams. And one day that's exactly what they tried to do. They tore Joseph's rainbow robe off him and sold him to slave traders for 20 pieces of silver. The traders took Joseph to Egypt and made him into a slave. The brothers went home and lied to their father, telling him that Joseph was dead. That's the end of that dreamer, they thought, but they were wrong. God had a magnificent dream for Joseph's life, and even when it looked like everything had gone wrong, God would use it all to help make the dream come true. God would use everything that was happening to Joseph to do something good. Meanwhile, though, things were not looking good for Joseph in Egypt. He was far from home and from his dad. Then he got blamed for something he didn't do, even though he had done nothing wrong. He was punished and thrown in jail. But God had not left Joseph. One night, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, had a scary dream about thin cows gobbling up fat cows. What on earth did it mean? He didn't know, but Joseph was a dream expert, so Pharaoh sent for him. It means a famine is coming, Joseph explained. There won't be enough food. Pharaoh was so pleased by Joseph's skill that he immediately took Joseph out of jail and made him a prince. Now back home, Joseph's brothers had ran out of food and everyone was hungry. God's special family was in danger. If they didn't get food soon, they would starve to death. So Joseph's brothers traveled to Egypt to buy food. They came and knelt before the new prince. His brothers didn't know that the prince was Joseph, but Joseph knew who they were. Joseph's dream, the one about his brothers bowing down to him, was coming true. "It's me!" Joseph cried. When they saw it was Joseph, his brothers were afraid. They had wronged Joseph. They had sinned, and they knew it. Now Joseph would certainly punish them. But Joseph looked at his brothers, and his eyes filled with tears. Even though his brothers had hurt him and hated him and wanted him dead, in spite of everything, he couldn't stop loving them. His heart, which they had broken, filled up with love, and Joseph forgave them. Joseph threw his arms around them. "Don't be afraid," he said. "Behind what you were doing, underneath everything that was happening, God was doing something good. God was making everything right again." Joseph didn't punish them, he rescued them. He brought God's special family to live safely with him in Egypt. One day, God would send another prince, a young prince whose heart would break. Like Joseph, he would leave his home and his father. His brothers would hate him and want him dead. He would be sold for pieces of silver. He would be punished even though he had done nothing wrong. But God would use everything that happened to this young prince, even the bad things, to do something good, to forgive the sins of the whole world.
Good morning, Kids Church. What a good story that was to show you whenever we think things are not going right, God has a way to turn it all around for good. This week's memory verse is Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." This week, I have done an activity for you to help you learn your memory verses. It's a game of memory with a little twist. You've got to try and find all of the matches. So on one card, it'll say one half of the memory verse, and on the other card, it'll say the other half of the memory verse. So you've got to try and find all of the matches. And if you're playing it with a friend or a brother or sister, the winner is the person who finds this week's memory verse. You'll find the cards on a file linked with our Facebook group that can be printed out and cut out into your own cards. So I'll just give you a little demonstration of the game. So we've got these cards. They say like what the verse is, and then it'll say the first half of the verse, and then it's got a picture on it. And you can see this one has a different picture and different words, different verses. Same with this one. And you'll see that this one is a matching one, because they've both got frogs on it, so it makes it a little bit easier. So you get all of them, and then you put them down, face down, and then you flip them and try and find a matching one. Thanks, Sophie. So we'll try this one. So that one is Mark chapter 12, verse 30. "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your," and then we'll find another random one. We'll go with this one. And that one says, "But God intended it for good." Well, that's not right, is it? So we'll flip them back over. And then we'll try this one. It's Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. "You intended to harm me." And we'll try this one. And it's the right one. but God intended it for good. So you can see they've both got the same pictures on them. So I take them and put them to the side. And because that was this week's, if I was playing with somebody, then that means that I would be the winner. So yeah, so have fun with your cards and have fun learning your memory verses, and we will see you when we all start going back to church. Bye.